You know that feeling when someone is speaking English directly to you and you understand every single word they say, but when it's your turn to open your mouth, nothing comes out? Like your brain just locks, completely freezes, and you're standing there nodding and smiling like everything is fine, but inside you're screaming?
Oh, Mark, I have heard this so many times. And I want you to know, if that is you, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Nothing at all.
But it's so embarrassing, Sarah, because I watch English videos, I listen to English podcasts, I understand a lot, and then someone says, "Hey, how was your weekend?" And I go completely blank.
I know. And that gap, the gap between understanding and speaking, that is one of the most painful places to be in language learning. You are not lazy. You are not stupid. You are stuck. And stuck has a real reason. And stuck has a real fix.
Wait, there's actually a fix? Like a real fix?
A real fix. And by the end of today, you are going to understand exactly why this happens to you. And you are going to have real phrases, real simple phrases that you can say out loud tomorrow. Not next month, tomorrow.
Okay, I genuinely needed this. Let's go.
Welcome back to Correct English Channel, by the way. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mark. And if this is your first time here, you are absolutely in the right place.
We make English slow, simple, and real. Let's get into it.
Okay, Sarah. So why does this happen? Why can I understand English, but I just cannot speak it?
Right. So I want you to picture something. Picture a library in your brain. A massive library full of English words and phrases. They are all there. You have been filling this library for years. Every video you watched, every song you heard, every subtitle you read.
Okay, so the library is full. That's good, right?
The library is full. But here is the problem. The door is locked.
The door is locked?
Yes. You can see everything inside through the window. But when someone asks you a question in English, you have to go inside and grab the right words fast. And the door is locked because you have never practiced opening it from the inside.
Oh, wow, that actually makes so much sense.
This is what we call a passive skill versus an active skill. Listening and reading, those are passive. You receive the language. Speaking is active. You have to produce it. And these two things train completely different parts of your brain.
Wait, Sarah, passive skill? What does that mean exactly?
Good question. A passive skill is something you can do without really trying. You just receive it. It comes to you.
So like watching TV in English?
Exactly. You are not doing anything. English is coming to you. You are receiving it. That is passive. But speaking, you have to go and get the words yourself. That is active. And most people only train the passive side.
That is literally me. I watch so much English content, but I almost never actually speak.
Right. And this is why so many people feel stuck. They think learning equals watching. But watching is only half the job. You also need to practice producing, opening that locked door.
Okay, so how do we open it?
We open it with something I call anchor phrases. Short, simple phrases you know so well, so deeply well, that they come out of your mouth automatically, without thinking, without translating. Wait, without translating? That's the dream. That is the dream, and it is possible. But let me show you what I mean with a real situation. Let's say you are at work. A colleague walks past you in the hallway and says, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And right there, that's where I freeze. I know. Because your brain immediately tries to build the perfect answer. You want to say something interesting, something correct, something impressive. And while you are building that perfect sentence, 5 seconds pass. The moment is gone. And now it feels awkward for everyone.
Yes, that is exactly what happens. Every single time.
So instead of building a perfect sentence, what if you had a go-to phrase? A phrase so automatic that it just comes out.
Like what?
Like this. "Not bad, thanks. How about you?" That is it. 6 words, natural, friendly, and it does something very smart.
What does it do?
It turns the conversation back to them. So now they are talking, and you have more time to think.
Oh, that is clever. That is so clever.
This is what native speakers do all the time. They use small automatic phrases to keep conversations moving while their brain catches up.
Wait, Sarah, you said keep conversations moving. What does that actually mean? Keep conversations moving.
Great catch. To keep a conversation moving means to stop it from going quiet or stopping completely. You keep it going. Like a ball, you keep rolling it.
Oh, like if I say, how about you? The ball keeps rolling because now they answer.
Exactly. You are not carrying the conversation alone. You are passing it back. And this is one of the most important skills in spoken English.
Okay, I need to remember that. Pass it back.
Write it down if you need to. Not bad, thanks. How about you? Say it with me. Not bad, thanks. How about you?
Not bad, thanks. How about you?
Perfect. Now let's go deeper into the scenario because it gets more interesting. So your colleague hears your answer, they smile, and then they say something a little longer. They say, I'm good. Actually, it's been a bit of a crazy week, really busy.
Oh no. Now what do I say?
And here is where most English learners make the biggest mistake. Don't skip this part.
What mistake?
They try to understand every single word perfectly before they respond. And when they don't understand one word, they panic. Everything falls apart.
That is so me. If I miss one word, I shut down.
So instead of panicking, you use a showing phrase, a phrase that shows you are listening and interested without needing to understand every word.
A showing phrase?
Yes, simple ones, like, oh really? Or, that sounds tough? Or even just, yeah, I get that. These phrases do something amazing.
What do they do?
They keep you in the conversation, even when you only understood half of what they said. The other person feels heard, they feel understood, and they keep talking.
Wait, Sarah, you said, I get that. What does that mean? Get that.
Great question. I get that means I understand. To get something, in this case, means to understand it, not to physically receive it, to understand it in your feelings.
Oh, so it's like, I understand how that feels.
Exactly. And you can use it anywhere. Your friend says they are tired from work. You say, yeah, I get that. Your brother says he hates mornings. I get that. It sounds natural. It sounds real.
I get that. I genuinely get that.
I just used it. You just did. See? It is already in your mouth now. That is how anchor phrases work.
Okay, this is going really well. But Sarah, what about when someone says something and I genuinely have no idea what they said? Like truly zero understanding.
Oh, this is so important. And this is the part that almost nobody teaches. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You ask them to repeat, but not in a way that feels embarrassing. You use a soft phrase that native speakers use all the time.
Like what?
Like this. Sorry, could you say that again? I just want to make sure I got it.
Oh, that sounds so normal.
It is completely normal. Native speakers say this. Smart professionals say this. People in important meetings say this. Asking someone to repeat is not weakness. It is care. It says, what you said matters to me, and I want to understand it properly.
I never thought about it that way. I always thought asking someone to repeat meant I failed.
You have never failed when you ask for clarity. You have only ever failed when you pretended to understand and then got completely lost later, right?
Honestly, yes. That happens all the time.
So say this with me. Sorry, could you say that again?
Sorry, could you say that again?
Beautifully natural. Now, before we keep going, I want to ask you something. If you are still watching right now and you are really feeling this episode, I want you to drop the word speak in the comments below. Right now. Just the word speak. It tells us you are here and practicing. And honestly, it helps more than you know.
And hey, if you are not subscribed yet, do that right now. You are going to want the next episode.
Okay, so we have been in this hallway conversation, and it is actually going really well now. Your colleague is talking, you are responding, you are using your anchor phrases. Then they ask you something a bit more personal. They say, do you have any plans for the weekend?
And now I need to actually say something about myself. That is harder.
It is harder, because now you cannot just pass the ball back immediately. You need to say a sentence about your life. And the key here, the thing most learners miss, is you do not need to say something interesting. You need to say something true and short. True and short. Yes, like this. Not really. Maybe just relax and take it easy. What about you? That is a completely honest answer. And again, you pass it back.
Wait, take it easy. What does that mean exactly?
Take it easy means relax. Do nothing stressful. Go slowly. Have a calm time. It's one of those phrases you can use in 100 situations.
Like if someone looks stressed, you could say, "Hey, take it easy."
Exactly. Or if someone asks what you did yesterday, you say, "I just took it easy at home." It is so natural, so common, and now it's yours.
Take it easy. I like that one.
And here's what I want you to notice about this whole conversation so far. You did not say anything complicated. You did not use any grammar rules. You used short, real phrases that felt natural, and the conversation kept moving.
Yeah, and the other person probably thinks you speak English better than you do.
Yes, and that is not cheating. That is smart. That is exactly what intermediate speakers do. They use simple language with confidence, and confidence is what sounds fluent, not perfect grammar.
Okay, Sarah, but what about when the conversation gets longer? Like, what if they keep talking and I start really struggling?
Great question. And this is where I want to teach you one more phrase, a phrase that saves you every single time. Are you ready? Ready. I'm still learning English, so sorry if I'm a bit slow sometimes. That is it. Wait, you just say that out loud? Out loud. Honestly. Calmly. And you know what happens when you say it? What happens? The other person immediately becomes your teacher. They slow down. They speak more clearly. They become patient and kind. Almost every time. Because now they know. Because now they know. You have let them in. You stopped pretending. And something very beautiful happens when you stop pretending. What happens? The fear disappears. Because you already said the scary thing. There's nothing left to hide. And now you can actually focus on the conversation instead of on your fear.
That is actually kind of emotional. Like, I have been hiding this for years, pretending I understand, nodding along, and just saying it out loud could change everything?
For so many people,
Yes.
that one sentence, "I'm still learning English." Those 4 words carry more courage than any grammar test you will ever take.
I am writing that down.
And here is what I want you to really hear. Native speakers respect learners. Real people in real life almost always respond to honesty with kindness. The embarrassment you feel, it lives inside your head. The real world is mostly kinder than that voice.
Okay, so let me see if I've got this. We have anchor phrases for starting conversations, showing phrases to keep things going, a soft phrase to ask for repetition, and an honest phrase to stop pretending.
That is exactly it. And now, do you remember where we started?
The hallway, the freeze, the blank brain.
Let's go back there. But this time, you are going to do it differently.
Okay, I'm ready.
Your colleague walks past. "Hey Mark, how are you doing today?"
Not bad, thanks. How about you?
"Good. It's been a bit of a crazy week, honestly."
Oh, really? That sounds tough. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Do you have any plans this weekend?
Not really. Maybe just take it easy. What about you?
Same, honestly. "Hey, my English isn't perfect either. I always mess up my emails."
Ha, I'm still learning English myself, so I totally get that.
And scene. That was actually good, right? That was more than good, Mark. That was a real conversation. You kept it moving, you passed it back, you were honest, you were warm, and you never once froze.
I didn't freeze.
You did not freeze, because you've had the words ready. They were waiting for you. That locked door we talked about at the beginning,
You opened it.
you opened it, not me. I just gave you the key.
Okay, I need a second. Because I've been stuck in this exact place for years, understanding everything, speaking nothing. And these phrases, they're so simple. Why did nobody tell me this before?
Because most teaching focuses on what to know, not what to say. And those are very different things. You could know 100 grammar rules and still freeze. But 6 anchor phrases practiced out loud every day, that changes everything.
Okay, so let's just go over those one more time. Naturally, not like a list, just talking.
Yeah. So if someone asks how you are, not bad, thanks. How about you?
And if you are listening and you want to show it, oh, really? Or that sounds tough, or yeah, I get that.
And if you miss something, sorry, could you say that again? I just want to make sure I got it. No embarrassment, just care.
And if things get hard, I'm still learning English, so sorry if I'm a bit slow. Honest, brave, and it actually makes things easier.
Those 4 phrases will carry you through 90% of everyday conversations. Not because they are magic, because they are practiced. And practiced phrases come out without thinking.
You know, Sarah, I think the real problem was never the English. It was the fear.
That is the most important thing you have said today. The English was always there, in your library. You just needed permission to open the door. And I want to speak directly to whoever is listening to this right now. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever your English sounds like right now, I see you. I know exactly how it feels to understand everything and say nothing. I know the shame of that nod, the panic of that freeze. And I want you to know, you are so much closer than you think. You are not starting from zero. You never were. You have been building this library for years. Today you started practicing opening the door. And that is everything.
If this episode helped you, even a little bit, please subscribe. Because next time, we are going to tackle something just as important. And honestly, I cannot wait for that one.
Until then, take it easy. Practice your phrases out loud, even alone in your room, especially alone in your room. And remember, every English speaker you admire right now, they were frozen once too.
See you next time.
See you next time.